Hello and welcome to another episode of Tavern Watch Plays. This week we are playing some more Starfinder, but in particular we're playing an adventure called Murder in Metal City, which you can kind of make some assumptions based on the name. I'm just saying you can kind of make some assumptions. So here we are all in the city of Striving, a great machine city, and all of our players have been called here by a mysterious message from an old friend. And I'm going to ask each of you to first, I'm going to start with you, Joe. Would you read the message that you have gotten and introduce your character?
Sure. So the message that we received is an encrypted message log. Friend, I recognize that it has been some time since our last communication. I hope this transmission finds you well and finds you at all. We live in exciting times, and I believe there is a chance, 14.6% or more, that this communication is intercepted before you receive it, which is exactly why I've asked you to meet me there. It is so much to tell you. I can't share over a comm unit, even with encryption. Meet me in Downgrade Striving. I have a reservation at Analog Cafe, and my tab should still be open when you arrive. Meet me there in 2 days exactly. Expect company, as I have invited others. You can recognize one another by this passphrase, credulous static. Your friend, Tier 99, Professor Polytechnica. So that is the message we all received, and I will be playing Benny, who goes by the name Nitpick. Don't call him Benny. Nitpick is really his name. He's what you call a Yosuke. Maybe he has a little bit of magic power. Maybe he does a little bit of the shooty shoot. You never know. Tries to keep things a little close to his chest. He knows Professor Tier 99 from basically it was his first friend. You know, we like friends. When friends ask for help, you come find your friends, yeah?
I certainly hope so. I certainly hope so, since that's theoretically why all of you are here. And Trish, why don't you introduce your character and tell us how you are doing? Tell us how you're getting, how you are coming and arriving to join everyone today.
So I'll be playing Jadonna. Jadonna is really young, very kind of skittish. She's very observant. She likes to sit back and people watch, but she's never been around this many people. And yeah, she got a note from Professor Tierney, who's a friend of her parents, she thinks. Her parents just kind of dropped her off here and was like, hey, go find this guy. And then she forgot. And then she got a note. And now she's just like, okay, I guess I'm here.
Okay. And Matt.
Hi, I'm Matt. I am playing Toothhug, and to try to let Toothhug explain Toothhug, I am Toothhug. I help people who need the help because they need to be helped, and I can help with hugs, or sometimes I have to help with sharper things. But even sharper things is just a tooth hug. It's just me trying to hug you until you stop doing bad things. And sometimes I have to hug people very, very extremely hard. So please don't be bad.
And because you are a Skittermander, could you tell us what Toothhug looks like?
Toothhug is about 3.5 feet tall, completely covered in multicolored fur that shifts. It kind of has like a sunset umbra on the right, and on the left side it's glowing. And sometimes it seems to shift into a sudden like a starfield like look. You're literally looking through a window into a starfield, and like the eyes begin to go kind of purple and scary there. But then it pops back to the glowing part. And generally multiple arms. I believe we've got 6 total arms.
Yeah.
In addition to the 2 legs, which are nice because they hold us up. I didn't keep my stomach mouth because people didn't find that huggable.
That's fair.
But a lot of Skittermanders do have a big tube coming out with a big mouth on it, and they can just choose to keep it past the juvenile period. I did not, because I wanted to be as huggable as possible at all times. However, I do have this enormous maw of sharp, pointy teeth completely dominating my squat little head. I kind of look like Gengar from Pokemon if it had 6 arms.
See, I went into that imagining a very fluffy, glittery Care Bear, and then you got to the end, and it's maybe not.
Care Bear with the gigantic maw of teeth. I mean, but we all have them, and I can mostly cover them up. Another way to think about this would be punk rock Stitch from Lilo and Stitch, but again with 6 arms.
Okay,
I'm pretty
and
sure Stitch has 6 arms.
it is true. It is true. He can hide them, but he does indeed have 6 arms. So, Phil, introduce yourself. Who are you playing, and what are you doing here?
Hi, I'm playing Lunar 17, an android mystic. The best way to think about Lunar 17 is if you think about those people back in the 90s who thought that the internet was going to be a force for like good and free will and advancing civilization. It's like that, except she's so terminally online it gave her mystic powers. Lunar 17 has a connection to the Akashic Record, the mystic like repository of all knowledge in the multiverse, and eventually realized that was something most people didn't have, and knows Tier 99 Professor because she ran into him to first figure out what this power was that she had. And she's not quite sure about the Tierney's theory on multiverses, but they did promise to get in touch when they had something important to share.
So all of you are coming through the city of Analog, whether you coming through the city of Striving, whether you will live here, have been here for a while, have just shown up because of Tierney's invitation. You walk through the city. You're on one of the lower levels because you don't want to be on the upper levels. It's hot, it's sunny, it's very bad. Air pumps are exhaling swirls of sickly fog that sort of cling around the feet of these skyscrapers here. Silhouettes of floating towers are dimly visible above you, hovering ponderously over the busy thoroughfares as they parade across the megaplex cities, circling the planet's surface in a monotonously predictable path. Agile maintenance bots skitter up and down skyscrapers, slick angular surfaces gleaming silver in the faltering sunlight. Crowded into a niche on the first 2 floors of one of dozens of lofty towers lining the streets of down-grid Striving, Analog is a boxy cafe with an overhanging roof and a 2-story patio, constantly shrouded in thick, swirling gases. Now, for those of you who, maybe like breathing, the gases are thick, but they are safe to breathe. They're produced by an air pump kind of on the side of the building that is part of a terraforming effort to actually try and make this place more habitable to organic life. Striving is a machine city. This is primarily inhabited by non-organic life forms, and the organics among you are actually a minority here. Maybe 1 out of 3 people is an organic being in this place. You all arrive at the Analog Cafe. What are you doing?
I think Nitpick is probably running up Tier's tab a little bit more because, that's what friends are for, right? He said the tab was open. He's gonna, I think he's talking a little bit, maybe not about what's going on with his friend, but just, chatting with whoever's nearby and it's got an ear. So listen, right? Like, it was just like, it was really shiny. It was red. I had to, right? Like, you gotta go and, like, you gotta take that and just kind of, like, go for a joyride. Nobody minded, right? It was fine. And I think everybody around him is completely disinterested.
So yes, it's very busy inside. There's a big synthwood bar with an android bartending behind it, and a whole tons of dining space, a mix of organics and inorganics here. Organics have food, inorganics may be looking at the holovids in the center of all the tables. And there is, so you can show yourself in. There's a console to check in if you're looking for a table or anything of that nature.
So I think, at least for me, also while he's talking, because of the catchphrase or code phrase, he's kind of working that into whatever story, like, that he's, like, telling to whoever around it, like, just kind of, like, throwing it out there so that when the other contacts hear it, maybe they understand that, they should be coming to talk with him.
Okay, what about the rest of you? Trish?
I think Jadonna probably walks in, orders like a drink, some snacks, whatever, and is like sitting there like people watching like she does. And as soon as she hears incredulous static, she will like creep over to where Nitpick is and just be like, did I just hear you say incredulous static? Because I've been experiencing a lot of that lately. And she'll like tap like one of her headphones.
It's the darndest thing. I'm glad to meet you. Somebody else who knows what's going on. And then he kind of leans in conspiratorially. Professor sent for you too, eh?
Yeah, he's friends with my folks, I think.
I probably know your folks then. Okay, well, that's one, at least one. Hey, Barty! Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 drinks, please.
7?
One for each arm, and then one for me.
Okay. She's just like, I've only got 4 and I only need 1, but okay.
He's
Matt?
a friendly guy. He doesn't know better.
I have been very carefully searching for friends that I
Okay.
know, friends that I haven't met yet, whatever, but I'm on the lookout for some friends. I was told to come here by a friend. So if a friend says to come here, maybe there's other friends here. And also, is there any kind of hors d'oeuvre?
There are little servers coming and going, mostly.
Literally, as people go by me with food of any kind, there's like a little sight of a hop, and then I scurry away and go, hungry. Spent too much time in ship. Need friends? Any friends? Looking for friends. Something about static, and I couldn't understand it, but it was a really great static. I'm not good at this part. Can we go up to the part where we hug? And I'm looking around for somebody friendly that I might recognize.
Well, I mean, it's pretty busy. There are plenty of hugging targets. Nitpick, do you think you might have heard this commotion?
I mean, Nitpick generally is pretty aware of what's going on around. It's sort of like his MO. He is loud and boisterous, but it's more of a, not necessarily a deflection, but it's as much an act as it is his real personality. So I think he would probably clock this. I don't know what he would think about it because I don't know if he's ever met this creature.
Probably not.
But if I'm hoping that said creature would possibly hear the code word as me and Jadana are talking.
And
okay.
are you?
You see a pair of little eyes swoop up and look at you, and then look down, and then look at you again, and then look up, and then look at you again, and then whoop! You saw them move. It wasn't magic. They didn't teleport, but man, they can come over quick. It's like 1 second there, 1 second there. You Tier friend, you friend of Tier, you know him? They blink, 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 blink.
Well,
I'm
yeah,
like right up. I'm like as close to your face as I can get, considering I don't know how tall you are. And we could be at the same level.
We're about the same height, give or take. I think Skittermanders and Yoskai are about the same height. Yeah. We're just having a good time here. This is our other friend Jadana. Who are you?
I am Toothhug.
Well, Toothhug, I'm Nitpick. Nice to meet you. See, you might be a little bit on the hungry side. And I just kind of like slide over what weird alien sandwich I had ordered earlier and didn't eat.
It's now gone. You didn't even see it go. Like as you slid it over, you turned for a second to talk to someone else or see something else, and then when you back, the sandwich is just gone. There's not even a sign that I chewed any.
I'm going to ask a really weird question. Please do not take offense to this. Are you an adult or a child?
Everyone asks, except of course Skittermander people, because Skittermander people know the difference. I don't have a stomach mouth no more. I'm now whelp. I am a full-grown Skittermander.
Ah, okay. Well then,
as of last year.
Well, we're gonna put some more. And Nitpick stops and looks you up and down. We're gonna put some more hair on that. You here, and I hand you one of the drinks.
Okay, I throw the container into my mouth, and you actually hear like a weird light flash inside my mouth, and then it's gone.
Right, that's going to be useful. I could already see. I already see we're going to get along famously.
I can do that when I point too.
Oh yeah, this is going. All right, well. Any other friends we waiting on? Do we know if anybody else is coming? I guess
that's a good time, Phil. What are you?
Yeah, I think about this time, Lunar had maybe like overheard this. She is probably
pretty hard not to overhear.
It's kind of hard not to overhear this nonsense, but she had she just kind of comes and sits down silently at first and kind of watches this all happen. I say gesturing at the Skittermanders. I think we're right. Non-organics. Hi. I take it you're also all here for Tierney. I'm Lunar.
Well, ain't you tall, glowing, and full of malice? I like you already. Hi, I'm Nitpick.
Good to meet you. You seem familiar. Maybe we passed each other on the street once.
Pretty sure I have definitely seen you at least once or 17 times. I'm not too sure. And he winks when he says 17.
She giggles.
Well, this is our friend Jadana, and this is our other friend. I'm so sorry, I forgot your name already. Toothless, Toofy.
Tooth hug.
Tooth Hug.
Tooth
All right,
hug.
Tooth Hug.
Ugh, got it. Interesting. Good
Because
to meet you all.
I like to help with hugs, but sometimes to get them to stop doing bad things, you have to hug really hard.
That's true, kid. That's true. All right. Well, I don't see anybody else picking up on what we're putting down, so I got us a table in the corner. Go ahead.
I before you get into that, I have a question. Are you at the bar right now? Where are y'all congregating?
I would have been at the
assumed there's a
bar. Yeah, I would have been
Okay.
at the
Yeah,
bar.
we've been a
waiting
little
for more
further down the
people.
bar, probably.
And then my plan was to have reserved a table, and then once everybody's here, ushered to the corner table.
So the bartender is an android with kind of silvery skin, wearing a red tank top. Kind of keeping an eye on everyone at the table. She's a bartender. She keeps an eye on things. When she sees you starting to move away, she comes over. You're here for Tierney. He has a table reserved in the back.
What a coinky dink! That's where we were going. Thank you.
Order what you want. I'll put it on his tab.
Already have been.
little meat things. You got little meat things. They sometimes are on a stick and they're round, or sometimes they're not. But they're small and they're.
We do have things like that. I will have some sent to the table. And as she says this,
do they have legs that I could reach?
She's on the other side of the bar.
Okay, so in order to hug her, I have to go over the bar?
Okay. Yes, you would.
I'm going to go over the bar to hug her.
Personal space,
Thank you for the food.
Well,
Then I let her go and go back over.
Well, I've seen straight. So actually some lights on the floor, little arrows hovering over the floor, sort of point you way into the back corner, a back corner booth with a y'all were being pretty loud talking about this incredulous static thing, weren't you? You weren't trying to be subtle there.
No, I was trying to get people, I was trying to make contact. So
before she sends you off, but I heard what you were saying, and Tierney left something for anyone who used that phrase. So I assume you are his friends. I haven't seen him in a while, but she reaches into a compartment under the bar and pulls out a hollow disc, which she hands over to you, Nitpick.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yeah, we're hoping we can figure out and meet up with Prof.
I hope so too. He hasn't been around in a while.
Oh, well, that's disheartening to hear. Well, I know you can't really tip yourself on the tab portion of it, and then Nitpick slides over like a bunch of creds.
You don't have to do that. This is what I'm here for.
You're right. I don't, but I did anyway. Thank you.
Well, thank you. And the credits you put on the table vanish. But yes, you have a kind of secluded table in the back. The backside of the bar is a little quieter. There are more inorganics, anacytes, androids back here. And they're mostly talking electronically. So it's quieter back here. You've got a corner way back in a quiet table back in the corner of the bar. In the center of the table, there is a hollow projector that's showing, just has a sort of generic showing pictures of the ice fields outside the city, just sort of a stock video.
Okay. Once everybody is settled in, and we're pretty sure nobody's really paying attention to us, so I think it's time for us to see what's on the disc, eh?
What? Huh? And you realize at this point, Jadana's just been kind of following, but saw the food vaporize and has just been wide-eyed, staring at Tooth Hug like, the hell was that?
Oh,
hi. Just absolutely fascinated.
Yeah, I'm looking back because the second anyone pays me any sort of attention, I glom onto them as a potential friend. Hello?
Hi.
Can I help you, friend?
You ate very...
Oh, technically that wasn't... I don't like other mind-altering chemicals, but I didn't want to be rude, so I just used solar manifestation to shoot it inside my mouth until.
Oh,
Yeah, it's not food, but food is food. I like food.
well, I was talking about the sandwich that vaporized.
Oh no, I didn't vaporize that. I just swallowed it. See, I can open my mouth this big, and I open my mouth to my full Skittermander size, and it's now quite apparently huge. And like, so I ain't gonna go here. It's a gum.
Okay.
I only got two if I want.
I get it now. Tooth hug. All right, that makes way more sense now.
Yeah, because I got a lot of tooths, and I can really hug with them if I have to. Don't make me.
I thought he was saying two thug. I was looking for a second one somewhere.
No, that's
No.
a two-headed. That's a hooded andesite from the other bar. We're good. Don't worry about it. So yeah, I think we're all friends here. I think we start the disc.
There's a little skittering inside the wall behind it, and a door opens, and a little conveyor belt comes out to the table with a giant plate of meatballs.
I just slide it over to two friends.
No, you don't have to. Like literally go, boop, and then just like half of it is gone before you even notice. I have the usual. I'll just tell you guys. I have the hyper feed.
Ah,
I'm
yeah,
like
that makes sense.
Skittermander turned up. So I'm like
I'm gonna try to snag one meatball before the plate gets all the way to tooth hug.
Okay, I'm not gonna stop you. I'd even give you one if you asked.
I know. I'm more worried about my hand.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Did I bite you? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
No, I'd have yelled if you did. Thank you.
Jadana has like her face mask on, and she was going to take it off so she could eat a bite, and just reattaches it and just leaves it alone.
There are digital menus on the table in front of you, which you can order from if you so desire. The safety of the food is not guaranteed at the table, but it will be perfectly fine until it gets here.
I think she'll start tapping in to order more food while we're waiting for the holodisc to play.
Yeah, at this point, Lunar's more curious about this disc.
Yeah, I'm probably getting a few more drinks and maybe some more hors d'oeuvres, but like once everybody's settled in, I wanna see what's on this disc because Nitpick's a little concerned. He hasn't heard from the professor in a while, and hearing that the bartender say the professor hasn't been around in a while really concerns him. This was his first friend. He's now a little bit worried. And you may have noticed that Nitpick is being a little quieter right now, not as boisterous as when you first met him. So he puts the disc on the table, looks around, make sure nobody's paying attention to him. Maybe stands so that he's blocking the view of the table from the rest of the bar, and then presses play.
Okay, so coming up out of the disc is a holographic image of who everyone knows as Tier 99 Professor. They are an anacyte, a robotic being with 4 spindly long legs and 3 spindly arms with different kinds of manipulators on the ends of them, and a head of sorts with different lenses that you can interpret as eyes if you so desire. Tier 99 Professor appears as a ghostly hologram and speaks in a crackling imitation of their own voice. Greetings, former companions. If you're watching this, it's because I have experienced an unexpected shutdown. In organic terms, I am dead. I propose you enjoy a meal on my prepaid tab and seek emotional support. My shutdown is within the normal range of variability. However, it has occurred prematurely and left many of my tasks incomplete. In fact, the reason I invited you all out tonight was to share a new theory with you. I am being pursued by a clever adversary who intends to shut me down permanently. I had planned to ask for your protection in exchange for payment, but the scenario has evolved. As I no longer have need of protection, I have an alternative proposal for you. Solve my murder. Suddenly, you're all staring at this. I assume you're all watching this. And at the end of this, it just freezes. You've got the end of the recording. That's it. Tierney speaking this sort of clipped voice with an odd cadence, which, if you're familiar with them, you know that was just how they talked. But the recording gets to the end, and a laser streaks in through a window and cuts through the center of this hologram, coming right over your shoulder, Nitpick. Like, you can't really feel a laser coming by you, but it's so close. It was very close. But it goes straight through the hologram, which shatters into static. What are you all doing?
At this point, I think I dive over the table and flip it.
Okay.
And start looking for where that shot came from. I don't know what anybody else is doing, but you see me, like, as soon as that happens, my immediate reaction is to roll over the table, flip it so that it's a barricade, and start, like, peering around, figuring out what happened. While saying, everybody okay? Everybody okay? You good? You good? You good?
Yeah.
I am behind you with a semi-auto drawn. Good instincts.
Yeah, Jadana is very much the same, like, with what she does typically, and she is undercover at some point, like in the shadows immediately, but she's got her rifle out.
First thing I do is I'm assuming that we're either not in initiative yet or we have like a round to act.
After you explain what you're doing, I'm going to ask you to roll initiative. Yeah.
Okay. I am going to reach out, and for a second there's nothing in my hand, and then suddenly there is a very, very large. I mean, this thing's like 6 foot long. It's scaled for a Vosk to use, and I pop one into existence. It is glowing in silver and gold, and I bring it up to my, like, almost like choking up on it like a baseball, and go, friend. And I'm looking to see where I can see somebody who's got a weapon.
Yeah, so I think my action is going to start scanning for where the shot came from, trying to figure out.
Yeah, give me a perception roll, Nitpick.
That is a 15 on the die. Nitpick gets a +4 unless this is against a illusion or hologram, in which I get an additional 1.
It's not against an illusion, but that is enough to get it. You see a window. You were trying to stand to block the hologram from the rest of the bar, but there are some high windows that could still get a view in. And outside, you see a drone, and you can tell that it's...
Ooh, a drone, you say?
A drone, I say. You can tell that it's this is a stealth drone, and you can see it just for an instant after you look up, it's fired its laser, you catch it just for that instant before it activates its cloak and zooms off. But
do we get to act before it zooms off, or no?
It's starting to zoom off, and that's when we're going to go into initiative.
Okay.
You know, you've been around striving. You know that cloaking is not totally outside of the realm of possibility, but while cloaked things are moving, usually their cloak isn't perfect. So you see it shimmer out of existence, but then you see a blur where it moves, where it can't quite maintain its cloaking as it goes. So now I do want everyone to roll initiative. You can roll with perception or give me a reason why something else would be a good thing to roll.
I rolled a natural 20, so I got a 24.
Okay.
This bodes poorly for when I do actual actions.
Yeah, this is an actual action.
Using all your 20s up on initiative. I got a 17.
13.
21
Real-
on perception
real
check.
bad.
If it's perception-based initiative, 21.
So that puts Nitpick up first.
All right, Nitpick reaches into his bag, pulls out what is ostensibly a little, like, looks like the world's weirdest Game Boy of cobbled together, like, screens and buttons and toggle switches and little things. And then he's going to try to deactivate the cloaking by essentially hacking into this thing. I'm going to try to do if I can get it to drop its cloak.
Okay. Give me a roll.
11 on the die, and my computer's is a +7, so 18.
Okay, so yeah, you click away, and just as it was about to, that little blur was zooming out of sight, it flickers, there's kind of a staticky thing around it, and its cloak drops. You see it swooshing away, but you can clearly see it. As much as you can clearly see things in the busy streets of Striving.
Well, that is one action, and I think how far is it? More than 100 feet away from me?
I'll say to get outside is, in the 30 to 40 feet range. You're
right.
way in the back of the cafe, so it's a good getting through, and there's a little bit of hubbub as people What's
Okay,
that?
so then
What?
so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of my actions then to move and book it
Mhm.
out the door. And
Okay.
then my second reaction, now that this thing's cloak is dropped, is I'm going to, or my third action, excuse me, is I'm going to warp reality on a point that I can see with 100 feet, which is going to be
Okay.
this thing. And I
Yeah.
want to essentially, I want quicksand in air, essentially. I want this thing to be heavy air or heavy grav around it so that it's slowed down so that other people can get a shot at.
Okay.
So let's see how this works. Quantum field activates and lasts as long as I sustain it, up to 10 minutes or until the end of my turn. Quantum field, say 20-foot burst centered on a point I choose with 100 feet. While your quantum field is active, I can use actions that have the anchoring trait. Your quantum field's other specific effects are determined by your paradox. One of the is affected by your quantum field when you warp reality. Each time you sustain, and when that creature enters your quantum field, each time you sustain a quantum field, the sustain action instead of an anchoring action, I can move it to a new position. So essentially, I think it's just going to have to make a save versus my spell DC, which is 17. Because for those at home, I'm not just a techno guy; I'm a witchwarper. Because I apparently only play witchwarpers in Starfinder, even by accident. So basically, I'm just making it have difficulty the way that it works.
So it's moving at half speed essentially.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, that did attract it, and it's not zipping away as quickly as it was before.
And then I'll shout back to my new friends, try not to blow it completely up so we can trace it.
Tooth Hug, you are up.
Okay, first up, I've used manifestation, so the big axe appeared. Also, there's like a dot of energy circling my wrist and kind of going from my elbow back up to my hand and then back as it circles. And finally, I'm now surrounded in what it looks to be bright gold armor, but you can kind of see through it. Like, essentially, it's here, it's around me, but like the axe, it's got a kind of not quite realness to it. It is glowing. Both the armor and the weapon are glowing kind of gold, while the thing floating around my hand is purple. And I'm gonna say, don't smash. Okay. It's 30 feet away, you said?
It's outside, and it's moving more slowly, but it's continued to move into traffic.
Okay.
You know, I mean, the busy city street, it's continued to move. You can see it, but everyone's going to have to keep following it.
Okay. I'm going to use Graviton Attunement, and this does 1d8 bludgeoning, and then I can make a trip attack.
Okay,
This is a free action. The trip part is a free action, even if I don't have a free hand or aren't adjacent. I can pick one of the two. I'm going to try for the trip attack. But
Okay,
it has to be a critical success on the attack roll for me to do that. So,
but this is a ranged attack, or are you trying
Ranged
to
attack.
get to it? Okay.
No, it's a ranged attack. I'm not moving because I don't have to. Okay. That is a critical success. So, and rather than do damage to it, I'm trying to trip it. So now it basically, I have made a trip attempt, and now it has the option to try to resist that. I don't really know how trip attacks work. I'll be up.
So trip attacks, if I remember correctly, it's whatchamacallit. It's generally in opposed athletics, so I think it has to make that athletics check.
Yeah. Okay.
Triple, you can drop them. I think it just knocks them down or knocks them prone, which I don't know that this can.
Yeah. In this case, I'm going to say it's heading out into traffic. The cafe's on a corner. It's heading out to cross traffic. You hit it with this attack, and it wobbles. It wobbles and smacks into an oncoming, bus, and it sort of wobbles away unsteadily, and it continues to move forward, but it's very slow about it right now. But it has gotten into the flow of traffic across the street. Do you have anything else, Matt?
Technically, yeah. Let's see what this thing.
For those of you at home, we're playing pre-gen characters for this adventure, so it's us trying to get to know what our guys do in the moment. It's a little bit of the learning as you go, because you can only read a piece of paper so much before you actually have to try to do things.
I just used 2 out of 3 actions.
Okay.
For my third action, I guess I will just straight up run out there. I have 35 feet of movement between being a Solarian and the hyper feet. So.
Okay, just be aware. This is a busy street. This is like a nonstop wall of traffic that's moving at high speed.
I will make every attempt to avoid going into vehicles or
okay,
people if I can avoid it.
Are you going into the street or not?
I'm going to bounce off of things because I'm going to try an acrobatics here. I'm basically going to just try to get to the side of the street and try and basically bounce off of something close by and then be up where I can see things.
Hey, give me an acrobatic. Are you trying to look like you're trying to get over here and do a perception check, or are you trying to
basically
get across the street?
No, I'm trying to get up so I can see it, like bounce off of a railing, bounce off of an awning. I don't want to bounce off of a tall person if I can't avoid it because that's rude. But I do want to. I want to make sure I can still see it as it.
Okay.
So. That's a.
So
20
yes,
total.
give me on the athletics check.
Yeah, athletics or
acrobatics. It can be either one.
Yeah. It's a total of 20. It's 17 on the die and plus 3. So I rolled 20.
Okay, so you managed to get up on. You clamber up like a street pole that has it just for like where the lights are to tell you cross, don't cross, etc., etc. You manage to clamber all the way to the top, and you get a good view of the drone over traffic, wobbling unsteadily, and it's like trying to stay over the flow of traffic, but it's having some trouble.
Do I get the sense that if I had done the damage instead, that I would have killed it?
I don't know. How much do you know about drones?
Not a whole heck of a lot, but I can give you a shot on a roll.
I'm gonna say this is not your area of expertise. It's just, well, it looks kind of hurt. It's not moving very well. Yeah, I mean
I've
that's
got pilot. That's all I think I have that would be useful in this situation. I think I have some of the stuff, but they're smaller. Piloting is the only one I can think of that would work. And
I'm just gonna say.
Almost gonna say I'm not gonna try.
I'm just gonna say you. I mean, you don't know for sure. It's not moving very well. Maybe it could have killed it. Maybe it's better to slow it down. You know, Nitpick said not to destroy it so you could track it. So, yeah, but it's moving slow. It's moving slow. I'm picking up on your weird accent, Joe.
It's infectious. And by weird, you mean New Yorker. So I mean,
really? Okay.
It's a little Pacino-esque.
That's the whole point. I'm playing a character. I'm literally a rat named Benny. What do you want?
Phil, you are up next. What is Lunar doing?
Oh man. What is Lunar doing? Lunar wants to stop this thing from getting away, and the best option I think I have for that is attempting to stun it entirely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which will require me to crit with my arc pistol, but why not? So 3 actions. I'm sure I need one. Okay, the window that it shot the hologram through, did it break the window? Can I go out this window after it?
I sent gravity at it from inside the building. If there was a window in the way of that, it probably got hit.
The window is broken. It's a you could get through it. It's shot from up high, but it's a normal window.
Okay, it's a window. Okay, I just want to make sure I could follow this thing without having to book it out the front of the building and all the way around. And all
around the panicking crowds, etc., etc.
Yeah, I don't want any of that. I'm sure the firefight has attracted a little notice. Yeah, Lunar's going out the window after this thing.
Okay.
And I'm just going to assume that's one of my 3 actions to follow it.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a shot at it with an arc pistol.
Okay.
19 plus 6, 25.
Yeah, that's a hit.
Joe, remind me how crits work in Starfinder. I know they're different than D&D.
Yeah, it's been a
certain amount over their AC. Not
I think it's 10 over.
Okay,
I believe.
Okay, so I guess Liz would know if it had an AC of 15 or not. But either way, it takes 2 points of electricity damage.
Yes, you can see it in the distance wobbling.
Yeah, it's a natural 20, or when an attack exceeds the target's active AC or KAC by 10. The result is double damage plus all bonuses added to, plus any special weapon effects like bleeding, burn, stun. And then if it has any other modifiers like blast or line weapons, they
Okay.
So you see it fizzle. It's like a electricity fizzling around it, and it starts to fall, and it thunks off another vehicle, and it kind of knocks it off to the other side of the road. You can't tell what happens to it from there.
All right, and getting across traffic's going to be interesting because it's nonstop traffic. That's not really. Actually, I don't know. That actually does kind of look like I might be decent at that. Is there a safe way to cross traffic? Is there? I know there's probably not like a crosswalk. Is there like an underpass to the other side of this road or something that I can use?
Well, there is a crosswalk, actually. In fact, Toothhug had actually climbed up on the traffic signal to get a look at this thing. But yes, it's
more arms than me.
It's currently it's currently favoring. I just mean what am I trying to say here? It's there is a crosswalk, but it's favoring traffic right now. So cars are moving through it. There would be a crosswalk if the signal were to change.
I mean, I can do that. Or maybe we still have
first
still has yet to go, so
does the okay, so if I so I can actually try to hack wirelessly without the need of a hacking toolkit because of my shortwave trait as being a networked android. So I think I'm going to attempt to hack the traffic signal with my last action.
Okay.
Let's see. Only got a +4 on this, but we'll see how it goes. Dirty 20.
That will do it. So you focus on hacking the signal, and bang, all of a sudden the signal goes red to traffic, and everyone just stops perfectly the same time. All of the vehicles here are networked, and the intersection is completely still. There's a perfect lane for pedestrians to cross.
All right, perfect time for somebody else to go, because that's my actions.
And yes, that is your turn, Trish. What's Jadena up to?
Well, seeing that everything's already basically taken care of, she's going to march across the street and pick this thing up.
Okay, yes, you find it has, it's trying to get back up. It's got some static stuttering, and on the far side of the street, it's gotten up, and it's wobbling forward in the air, but it's not very far off the ground.
Yeah, can I just grab a hold of this thing and pull whatever power wire I see and just be done with it, so we can just pull out its guts and get all the information off whatever disks and memory drive it has?
You certainly can.
What do I need to roll, if anything?
I think grabbing whatever wires you're just grabbing whatever's on there. I think you can just do that. I'm just gonna give it to you. It has kind of some control wires that link its little sort of hover jets, and you just sort of yank at the wires, and it stops. It stops even trying to move at that point.
Then I'm gonna either wait for my companions to get here, or I'm just gonna start pulling to see if I can find where memory drives and the stuff that actually runs it is, so we can just get the information off of that while this thing is just done. I'd be we're gonna figure out who did that.
Absolutely. So yes, you're pulling off the casing of it. I'm gonna say we're out of initiative now. And what is everyone doing from here?
Well, my goal is exploration at this point, so trying to meet up and get, I guess, my hands on this thing so we can start decoding. And I have potentially 2 applicable skills here, but I'll let other people. I don't want to hog all the attention.
Do we have someplace safe that we can do this? We're not just going to stand in the middle of the street?
Yeah, kinda, because I live in Striving, so I would assume I have quarters somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I have a room somewhere because my parents just kind of dropped me off here, and we're good luck.
So I'm gonna say, who among you is the biggest tech person? Is that going to be Lunar?
I mean, I got a +7 to robot lore, striving lore, and computers. I don't know what Lunar.
Less than that, but I can make you even better at what you're already doing, depending on what you need to roll.
Okay. So why don't we find like I said, I'm pretty sure I live here if I'm looking at the because this is
Well-
striving, correct?
Yes, striving is also like a massive city. It's like 100 miles in every direction. This place
Sure.
is huge.
I'm surprisingly good at artifacts, but all of my other skills are like thievery or survival or stealth or piloting. I don't really have tech stuff. Like my computer skills is 0.
Yeah, I think this is definitely on the tech side. Nitpick, I'm going to see, you know, the area well enough that you know somewhere where you can at least get off the street. You know, you have a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend who owns a shop here and knows you enough to like, you could use the back room. You need to look at this thing. Yeah, just he's going to turn the other way and you can sit in the back room and look at this drone.
All right, I turned to everybody. All right, well, we're looking at where we are in town. I know a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy. We could probably use the back room. So we'll just kind of, if you don't mind, grab the pieces. Follow me. We'll see if we can figure out what the heck is going on here. And then I just start taking off, assuming that everybody's following me because that's what Nitpick does.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'd be helping lug this thing. 'cause
Yeah,
I'm-
grabbing some pieces.
All right.
So you go into an alleyway. There's a bunch of little kind of junk shops. There's secondhand tech, that sort of thing. You wave hello to your friend of a friend of a friend who gives you a nod, lets you into the back room. And yes, you're in kind of a crowded back storeroom, but there's a table that you can push some junk aside and take a look at your newfound drone.
All
It's
right, so-
It's
Go ahead.
actually in pretty good shape. You know, it was electrocuted. It took a couple of thumps from cars, but for all of that, it's in pretty good shape. It's scuffed up, but it's not like in 1,000 pieces kind of thing.
Okay, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to analyze it without ripping it apart to see if there's any markings on it. So I'm basically going to use my robot lore to see if this is a model that I recognize or
Okay.
if there's any signifiers or identifiers that I could see without hacking it.
Okay, give me a roll.
16, so that's a 9 plus 7.
Okay, yes. You definitely recognize this. This is an off-the-shelf kind of drone, but it's like the kind of shelves you would buy this off of are not like the shop you're in now. This is a high-end spy drone, but it's not. It's the make of it looks like something that was probably made here on Avalon or something that was made by someone selling it to Avalon. It looks familiar. It doesn't look like it's some crazy off-world tech. It doesn't have the markings of off-world. It's a familiar style.
All right, well, nothing out of the ordinary with this thing. So one of the things that Nitpick has is sort of like a personality flaw, is that whenever he's investigating something, he kind of narrates it, even if nobody's around. So he's narrating it, and you may think that it's for your benefit, but it really would have happened whether or not you're. So, okay, there's nothing saying who owned it. Smart. I mean, I figure if anybody's going to take out the professor, that they're going to be smart. Cool. Looks like it's an off-the-shelf model, but I mean, off the black market shelf. Looks like it's maybe just a spy drone. The laser is new, though. That's a little bit interesting. So somebody definitely did a little modification for it. But I don't think we're going to see anything else from the outside. So it's time to start cracking into it. And he puts on a pair of like welder's goggles with like the jeweler's loops on it and starts hooking it up to his handheld. And we got to go deeper. And then he just starts, trying to hack in.
Okay, you did a really good roll. We'll just go with the roll you already did, because this is not. You've got a disabled drone here. This is not a crazy challenge for you. So you look into its logs. There's not a lot here. This isn't like. It looks like it was purchased pretty recently in the last month or two maybe, and it's just. Hang on. What do I? I thought I had something for this, and now I cannot find it because that's how these. You can see it's been going around the city on orders from its owner to watch people, and unsurprisingly, you are one of the people, you and your group are one of the people it has been assigned to watch. In it, you find its latest programming scan. As you get in the end... well, I asked you to do the last one, but Joe, would you read the contents of this log or explain to everyone else what you found in this log?
All right, so I think as Nitpick's going through, he's looking for telemetry data, he's looking for logs, and so, yeah, this is what he finds as he's going through sort of the target logs, and of course, he narrates it out loud because he narrates everything out loud, as we've just established. All right, data log, current recon location, analog cafe striving. Okay, we knew that. That's what we got shot at. Current recon target, unknown subjects, filter chatter from regulars, accept relevant terms. Great, they listened in on the communication. My fault, I'm the problem here. All right, I understand that. Current relevant terms, Tier 99 Professor, Tierney, Relic, first ones, investigate Xyrem. Okay, well, those are interesting ones. Make note of that for later. Emergency protocol on detection of communication from Tier 99 Professor. Take measures to intercept, eliminate, or corrupt. Return to agent. Recent audio input. Club beats. Reverberating. Irrelevant. Filter out. Crowd chatter. Irrelevant. Filter out. Siren skin. Determine trajectory. Determined irrelevant. Filter out. Shouting. No relevant terms detected. Recent visual input. Rain slick rooftops. Dense smog. Neon lights. All typical. All irrelevant. Anomaly detected. Origin unknown. Likely irrelevant. Audio-visual glitch detected. Hollow likeness of Tier 99 Professor. Emergency protocol triggered. Ooh, so it wasn't me. It was because we played the hollow. Well, I guess kind of me. I pushed the button. Damage log. Evasive maneuvers resulting in collision, power surge, rotors unresponsive, termination of... Oh, so this was going back in real time. Ain't that it? And then he turns around. You guys have not been there.
I've just been scribbling notes on a tablet the whole time, assuming that this is for our benefit.
Yeah, I'm like, and this is your first indication of his personality trait, because as soon as he's done going through this, he turns back to all of you and repeats all of it as if he's talking to you for the first time.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Is there food in this place?
There's no food.
No food. What were you saying that my fine multi-armed friend, dear?
It said return to agent. If we fire this thing back up, we might be able to follow it back to who sent it. I don't think it was
good
triggering
idea.
Us. I think it just wanted to bust up the hollow and leave. We were just in the way.
That's a fine idea. All right, well, I guess. Go ahead, Luna.
But if it was transmitting video from that hit, we've all been spotted by whoever this is.
I mean, I'm not very good at the whole stealth thing. I'm good at like being distraction, but you all seem like you got maybe some you got a hat in that ring, maybe. I'm thinking
good at sticking to the shadows.
Yeah, I saw you disappear. Don't think I didn't notice.
I'm very sneaky.
So your idea I like. I think maybe we fire this back up and we put a homing beacon on it or something where we can track the telemetry and we make it blind to us. I think I might be able to program it to not pay attention to us anymore.
I mean, I'm down. We can just follow it wherever. What else did it say? Something about Xyrem, right?
Yeah, that was one of the things the professor was mentioning. Investigate Xyrem. So I think there's more. That might be the
one
adversary.
That was one of the search terms the drone had. It was just listening for any of those terms. Tier 99 Professor, Tierney, which is the name Professor usually went by, Relic, first ones, investigate. That one seems really general. That seems like such a general search term. Come on. And Xyrem.
However, since I have a bonus and trained in artifacts, I'm going to see if I know anything about any first one artifacts on Xyrem, wherever that is. This
first ones is actually easy, and I would say
we all kind of know.
I think anyone with any
often, right?
Yes, this was Tier 99's big area of research, and I think anyone on Abalon, anyone in striving is going to know about this or who spent much time on striving, which is that the first ones are kind of the progenitors of all the anacytes, of all the robots on striving and on the planet of Abalon. And there's kind of quasi-religious thing about, these are our creators and learning more about them, or becoming better than them, or following in their footsteps. There's this whole kind of sort of religious angle to this, to the first ones. Anyone can make me a role they think is relevant to recall knowledge about something related to this. Just give me what you think would be relevant. Matt, you said you have artifact lore?
Yeah, I have lore and artifacts because basically I have all my skill set is smuggling. I try to help people now, but there was a while I just did some smuggling because stuff needs to be smuggled. But yeah,
sometimes.
So I'm gonna check that out
Yeah.
and see what we get.
And anyone else who wants to make a roll, could be a religion roll, could be just give me something you want to roll, and we'll take it from that angle.
I think rather than try to recall it myself, when it looks like Tooth Hug is thinking, I'm going to kind of put a hand very gently on his head and just tell him, "Open your mind." And I'm going to cast Akashic Fount with a focus point. Tooth Hug's mind is temporarily opened to the Akashic record, and he gains a bonus to his artifact lore equal to my proficiency in occultism, which is an additional +4.
Okay.
Also, Tooth Hug's mind is temporarily open to the cosmic repository of all knowledge in the multiverse. So I'll let you decide how that affects you.
For a moment, Tooth Hug is suddenly like, yes, it's all so easy. It makes perfect sense. Why don't they all understand that we're all friends together? Anyway, it's a 17 on the dice, +3, +4. So that's 17, 20, 24. Which I think it should be, if it's 10 above the difficulty or whatever, it's critical success. Otherwise, it's just a success.
Yeah, it's definitely a success. Just from your experience smuggling, that fairly recently a wreck was discovered on the planet of Akaton, so called, and it was a wreck that appeared to be First One's technology. Now, Avalon itself has lots of sites that are full of ancient First One's technology, and it resembled this wreck resembled that. They call it the Wreck of the Return, and Anasites in general are very curious about what's there, because they fully believe this was built by their progenitors, the First Ones. And there have been missions to go to the wreck and retrieve artifacts and bring them back to Striving for Study at Polytechnica.
Okay. I will relate that information, kind of in a, yes, it all makes sense. There's a connection to the artifact and the wreck of the returned, and I continue to do this, and as I do, slowly the smarter sound, or the musing sound, fades away, and I start speeding back up. So it goes from, then they first, of course, wanted to understand the progenitors because the progenitors made them. What are we doing again? That was interesting. Yeah. Wreck of the Returned. They've got stuff from it at the university that Tierney was kind of consulting at. He told me, because he wanted me to help him. He's my friend, so I thought about it, and then I said yes. That's it.
All right. Anybody else got anything relevant on a deck before?
I mean, I don't know anything about anything. I've only been here for a couple of weeks, and this is all news to me. This all sounds real weird.
Gotta start somewhere.
All right, so that makes a lot of sense. Professor was keen on the First Ones. I remember when I met him, I made the mistake of doing some magic in front of him, which is how he noticed me. We started being friends after that, and he kept talking about the First Ones and how it was part of the grand design and all that other stuff. And we know that, we know that he was looking into, your parents probably know into this his entire existence. So whoever he made somebody angry or made somebody scared. And they either wanted what he had or didn't like what he knew. So I look at everybody. I'm going to find who did this. And I'm going to give them a really long hug with some very sharp teeth. Y'all are welcome to come along if you want.
That's a good plan.
I'm looking at your head going, I'm sorry, you're not going to pull it off with those. But I'll help you. I can do the actual hugging. You can just explain to them why we're hugging them.
And then he looks over at wow, my brain is here. He looks over at Jadana. You don't have to, because I mean, I know your parents just kind of dropped you off here, but it'd be real helpful. You definitely look like you got some skills that I ain't got, and
I
I
mean,
really
I'm
want some.
down. I'm down to help. I'm just very confused by all of this because, like I said, my parents literally just dropped me on this planet and said, "Go find Tierney," like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, so
Don't think too hard. Just because
Well,
I get sucked into thinking.
I mean, I'll give you a little context. The first ones are like the progenitors of all things that exist. They made all the andesites, they made all the robots. But they also were tied up with like magic and creation. And there's this theory, right, that the professor, he would explain this to no end. But the drinks were free, so I'd listen, right? That everything was connected, that everything had an origin. We just forgot what it was, and that included him. And
It's the guy
everybody
over
else.
there who touched my head, Luna. That's who it is. For a second, I was one with it.
I'm not your progenitor, but
No, but you're the
that's sweet.
connection. You know the way to the place, the record. I
I
saw.
think, and maybe that's it. Maybe I mean, Professor Tierney thought that everybody, all beings that were of that creation, had a connection to it, even if we don't know it. That's a real important thing to a lot of people. Like that's a religious thing for a lot of people. That's their gods. That's how they were born into this universe. That's important. A lot of people gonna be real interested in when they find stuff like that out. Tierney wanted to do that so. Like I said, I'm gonna go hurt somebody who hurt my friend, and I don't know. I mean, it sounds like y'all are in with me. And I look at you down. If I know your parents, I'm gonna make sure you get back in one piece because I know a couple of multi people that some of they were nice to me once too. I'll take care of the kid, but
Yeah, that's cool. Like I said, they just told me to find Tierney, and I guess like I'm gonna have to find who killed him instead. But I'm down. She just kind of like shoulders her weapon a little bit. It's like I'm just better from the shadows.
well, then you're gonna be our primary tracker then, because it seems like you got them skills. So I'm gonna work on this thing. I think I'm gonna get I'm gonna take the time. I'm gonna program it. I'm gonna get it to go back to sender, and I'm gonna make it blind to us if I can. And then I think, and he hands out like little communication things, like little like they look like the old like Star Trek, and I mean like the original series, like tube communicators like that they used to carry with them. We're going old school on this. And then he's going to try to reprogram this thing to ignore this group of people and immediately activate its return home.
Okay. Give me a roll for hacking or crafting if you wanted to. You could probably do that if you
I have something I want to do while he's working on this, but I'll let him do the
go
roll.
for it.
Assuming this is going to take at least 10 minutes.
Probably.
Yeah.
12 on the die plus 7 for crafting is 19.
That is a success. You fiddle with it and you manage to get in its programming databases and tell it own home and also ignore me and my friends.
All right.
It
doing,
wobbles back up on its little hovering thing.
Well, hold on, because Phil wanted to do something while I was programming.
Yeah,
yes.
Since the four of us are, at least for now, united in purpose, I want to try to set up my mystic bond.
Okay.
I don't know. So this apparently involves a 10-minute activity related to my connection that requires me to be adjacent with the creatures whom I wish to bond. I'm not sure what that looks like for the Akashic connection, a ritual related to sharing or ritual related to knowledge. I think this maybe looks like a combination of doom scrolling and also just looking everyone up on the network to just kind of gather knowledge about our local companions, which obviously there's not a whole lot about most of you.
He's scrubbing our socials, y'all. We're screwed.
Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna say I have the equivalent of like a late 90s GoDaddy page or something.
GeoCities.
Yeah, GeoCities. There's a giant picture of me smiling.
Tutug has a MySpace and his top 8 are all foods.
It's Friendster. It's 100% Friendster.
Yeah. But at the end,
I'm Tutug. I'm so glad you found my site.
I don't think
and then it just repeats on loop. I just
does
have
it
that
autoplay
up top.
music?
Yeah, it autoplays like a Skittermander band playing skitter jazz, which is basically just really, really fast jazz. It's just they're like going as fast as they can while singing "Everybody Needs a Friend Sometime." It's just like, what is happening? And it doesn't quite buffer properly. So
Meanwhile,
they'll
you're looking it
occasionally
up
be
on-
like, I'll be waving
Amazing.
and then I'll stop and the music will just go and then it just picks up again. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Friendster.
And you're looking at Jay Donna, who's like ultra connected and has like, YouTube reels of space YouTube reels of like her playing every shooter that's out there and just wiping the floor with everybody and then quitting because it's too boring. And it's just like ultra connected on every platform.
I'm just like, wow, you hit platinum in that? Just like quietly muttering to myself as I'm looking everything up. And at the,
Yeah, that took like 3 days.
wow, I'm so bad at that game.
And I think Nitpick's is just an Instagram of like all these artistic shots of like black and white trash, like from around like the city. Like that's really what it is. Like look like the golden hour photos of like this artistic pile of scrap that he found in like an alleyway at some point, like stuff like that. Like it's weirdly artistic, but nothing of substance.
Yeah, there's like this one you can take with I forget what it's called, this technique where you can take pictures using essentially three different colors. And so like if people were if a person is in the shot for one frame but not in the others, you get like a red ghost of a person. It's really fascinating. This is the kind of thing I'm picturing you taking, is like these like multi-spectrum photos. Okay.
Yeah.
At the end of this 10 minutes, I don't think there's any real effect for you guys, but Lunar now knows basically your general distance and direction and whether you're conscious, unconscious, dying, or dead at all times.
Friendship.
This lets me do things like heal you. Friendship.
If anything is happening to me on that thing, I imagine it is like a little head of mine pops up. Hi, friend, I'm bleeding.
Yeah, I think it manifests in her mind palaces just like just like the user list at the side of Discord. Two Thugs statuses are in all caps.
I love it here.
Lunar, would you give me a perception check?
I'd love to find my character sheet again. I have so many things open. Okay, perception. 17.
So just while you're searching, you're looking for information on your friends, and you're kind of looking at some information on striving. I'm just going to say, while you're doing the searching, you find out about kind of a social media influencer, like a kind of a Kardashian sort of social media influencer who's been on striving for a couple of months, hanging out at Magenta, which is a big casino here. You're just kind of scrolling by, and there's a lot of buzz around them. That's Vazi. Oh my gosh, I practiced trying to say this name and I still can't.
So you want to spell it instead?
I'm gonna say it's Vasilisa, who is a vest.
Vasilisa, which is an actual Russian name. Okay.
It's Vazylyza. How do you want to say it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was nowhere near right on writing that down. So.
Well, I'm probably nowhere near right on saying it. But just while you're going through social media posting and information about the area, you notice some posts about Vasilisa, who they like to post pictures of themselves. It's the whole thing. It's the whole thing. They're here in town. They're having a great time being beautiful. That's what they do.
And they were at, you said, the Magenta, which is a casino?
Magenta is a casino in the area.
Noted. Okay.
Ew, is that Vazzy?
Do you know them?
Tangentially, but ew.
Yeah, apparently she's in town and mostly posting photos from the Magenta. It's everywhere. Yeah, people keep reposting this. I don't know why. Scroll.
And I think before the end of the episode or the end of the scene, I think this is where Nitpick like stares at the camera and goes, "And this is what we call foreshadowing."
Huh? Who are you talking to?
Don't worry about it.
Don't use such big words. I didn't go to college.
It wasn't for that space horse.
Oh
Luis
boy.
could say, oh god.
Whew.
But-
Do
I was gonna say, I think we end
Yeah.
with this thing whirring to life for the first episode.
it? Yes, you've got it
And he's
to where
still
it's
looking for food.
yeah. There's still no food. I mean, you found miscellaneous tech parts and nothing that would be edible in a traditional organic sense.
I think like out of her pocket, Jadana pulls out like a snack bar or some protein snacks or something. It's like, this is all I got left, but you're welcome to have it.
It is now gone from your hand.
You are the reason that all-you-can-eat buffets do not exist on Striving.
I know. I was so sad when they closed down the bottomless pit.
Pretty sure
They
you are the
kept saying-
bottomless pit.
They kept saying, curse you, tooth hug. I was like, no, I just wanted to be friends. I had to end up smuggling them off.
That's going to do it for today's episode, and we will find out what happens next time.
Blizzard Watch is made possible due to the generous contribution at patreon.com/blizzardwatch. Your continued support means that this site and community is able to thrive and grow. Blizzard Watch supporters enjoy exclusive benefits like early access to our podcast, a better chance at having your question answered on our podcast with you, and an ads-free site experience. Thank you, friends. We'll see you next time.